And we are live, and welcome. I'm Bruce Jones, and welcome to this presentation on easy book creation. This is my new program that I've been working on, and I'm going to be presenting it today, and you'll see it sort of evolve over the space of time. Let's just make sure we have everything is sort of up and running here on all the different broadcast channels coming here from the Mystic Studios. Yep, everything looks great. And if you have comments or questions or things, I'll do them at the end of the presentation. Just drop them in, and you can put them in the comments below. And there's also a workbook that goes along with this, and the link is above or link is below, and you can do that. So here we are, easy book creation. Write your book today. And we're going to be talking about books sort of like this, all right? Little quick books that you can create. So these are two of the books that I've done in the past, or I helped on. And both of these books, let's just move this out of the way here. Both of these books were created actually over a coffee, where I sat down with the authors of these books. This one is a legacy book, and this one is sort of a business how-to book that you can use. And I'll be talking about how we made these, how we put these together. In fact, I have a whole little pile of them here. And we'll be talking about how I sort of put these together and the philosophy that I use to do it. And but both of these, this is like, as I said, this is a legacy. This documents this person's life, and actually became a letter that he gave to his daughter to explain the different things that he did. And this one is sort of a top 10 tips how to work with this company, and give out some basic information. So we'll be talking a little bit more about those, but they've been fun to do. Both of these books came together very nicely. So what is this? What is this? What is easy book creation? So it's a method that I have done and taught for you how to quickly create, let me just move this over here, how to quickly create a business book, a how-to book, FAQ book, a legacy book, something that you need to create quickly or put together quickly, and then use it as sort of a tool, a business tool. We're not writing a manifesto or writing a great big thick book, but it's a methodology that I have used over the years, taught it, and I have used to create some of my own books that you can use to create something very, very quickly. So it fits into all of these areas. It's almost like your brochure or your business card. It becomes an essential tool. It's a lead magnet, and you can put that together pretty quickly. So I'm Bruce Jones, and I am a author of over 50 books. I have products. I teach how to publish your books, all kinds of different things. I've been teaching publishing for a long time. I have a large Facebook group, the How to Publish Your Book Facebook group. We have a lot of authors and self-publishers, and we also have different products and all that kind of stuff, books on all kinds of different things. I love creating books and creating products. So that's who I am, and you can learn more about me at brucejonesdesign.com. You can see all that kind of stuff. So what are we talking about here? Why a book? Why do we have a business book, and why is it useful? So books like this, these sort of quick to produce sort of tips, how-to books, can help build your authority and credibility. It's something that you can give out to people, and you can, let's just make this a little bit bigger there. So there we go. You can give it to people as part of a sales tool. It can be something you can mail out. It can be in your lobby. It can be, anything like that that helps you in your business, in your process that you just want to do, or something you want to pass on for lessons. You can use them, as I said, for lead magnets and mailing signups. So a lead magnet is something that in the internet world, internet marketing world, somebody clicks on an ad to say download something, and they can, you click on it, put your email address in, and download it, and that brings you into the to their funnel, into their sales process. The books can be actual physical books, so like this could be a real book, or it could be a PDF. You don't even actually need to send anything out to people. It can be all just sort of a PDF. Entry point for your books and products and services at the backs of these books. I'm going to show you a little bit how to do that when we get to that stage in this presentation. You can put, what are the products you have? What are the, do you give talks? Do you a speaker? Do you have programs? Do you have other books? It's a great way to sort of advertise and promote that stuff. Customer support FAQs. If you have I heard of, I didn't do the book, but I did learned about it. It was a woman who was a divorce attorney, and she basically had to answer the same questions all the time. And so what she did is she created a quick little book like this, put it in her lobby. So when the next client came in, they could just take the book and it answered all those basic questions that somebody might have. So these are like FAQ, top tips, most asked questions, that kind of thing. Just how to put all that together. Develop products and increase revenue. So these books can be used and turned into a lot of other things. You might create something quickly that you can turn into a course. Every chapter becomes a video, becomes a podcast, becomes a blog post, becomes something. This is the support book that goes with that kind of thing. And often people use these for legacy books. This one that I have here, let's see, let's go back to here. This is a legacy book. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that in a moment, of how we put that together. It doesn't have to be big. It can just be sort of, something kind of simple. So let me show you sort of what I have here, and then we'll just go right into it, because it's fairly easy to do. And this is interactive. I'm going to have you do it along with me. We'll at least get started and kind of teach you a little bit about how to do this process. And there's a worksheet or a workbook. If you go to the link above or below, or go to wherever it is, you can download the workbook that goes with this. And there's a page in there, and there is a page like this, which we will be using. So, or you can just scribble on a piece of paper. So I have a number of different examples here. So let me show you what I have. So this is a top 10 tips book. This book was done very quickly out of a book that was a series of tips and things for somebody to do. And we took the first 10 tips of that book and quickly put it together, a quick book that had the basic text of the tip and a place for somebody to do something. So this is half tips book, half workbook, but very easy. We're talking here about a book that's 30-ish pages to 50 pages. All of these are, I think the longest one here is 53. So it's very simple, easy to do. These are produced on Amazon. These are all done as paperback, but you could do them as a Kindle book. You can do them as a PDF book. You can even do them as an audio book. Podcasts and audio are so big now. So that's just a basic tips book that can be put together. Everybody can come up with 10 tips. I'm going to show you how to do it in just a couple minutes here. This is one that was done on YouTube. This is one I did, 10 tips on YouTube, 10 essential YouTube tips. So maybe you understand a software or a process or something, and you're teaching this and you need something quick to put out. I'll show you something interesting about this book and another one in a second. This is one that came in the mail to me. I didn't do this one. This is 21 ways. You don't have to stop at 10. Again, this is actually nicely designed. There's illustrations in here and such. This came as a promo. So this was a giveaway book. I signed up for something from this company. I can't remember what the name of the company was years ago. And in fact, they even autographed. Look at that. Autographed it. There's a signature. Oh, let's see. Where's the signature? They just put, I guess that's the signature. They printed the autograph. So this is just a quick book of 21 ways to build a business. A nice cover on it and some graphics inside. It's nicely designed. And this was a giveaway. As I said, it came in the mail. It was a freebie. I still have it after all these years. People don't throw away the books. This is one that I did. You've seen this book around. This is the book Marketing Checklist for Self-Publishers. And this is probably the longest one of the groups. And again, it's just simple tips and ideas, basic steps. I sort of set it up as, let's see if we can get that there, as a checklist almost. So it's a checklist. And this has been a nice little book. It's sold on Kindle and print, easy. And then this is the last of the samples. This is the tips book I showed you a few minutes ago. This is just on how to, just business tips that you can use to help this person as a consultant. And he just set up basic tips. Now, what's nice about these, so this book printed on Amazon through KDP, but these two books right here were done at a local print shop. And you'll notice they're just stapled. Where's the staples? See the staples right there? They're just stapled. Done at a local print shop out of Word, Microsoft Word. Very simple to do, very easy. You can just sort of print what you want. So those are just examples of what I have. And now let's get in and show you a little bit how to go about and do this. So let's see here. Let's put this back up here. Add to stream. All right. So what do we do? Whoops. If we can get this right. All right. So how this process works, it's very simple. And this is sort of an exercise. So I'd like you to sort of take out a piece of paper and take out a pencil. And what we're going to do is I want you to write down on a page. If you had printed this out, you can grab that. I want you to write down on one piece of paper the number one question you get asked, your most frequently asked question. So it's the thing that gets asked to you all day long or every day. You hear this same question. You know what it is. It just sort of comes, it's just, okay, you're always answering that question. It might be the piece of advice you give the most often, the question that comes to you the most, the comment you see in your customer comments, whatever it is, I want you to write that down on a piece of paper, just a single sentence. Don't go any further than that, just a single sentence and write all that stuff down. All right, and just put that on a single line, piece of paper, that kind of thing. So now that you've done that, you have that sentence, all right? That's the number one thing that people ask you about. That's how people see you as an expert in your subject. And so you've written that down. So we'll do that. Wait for a second for you to kind of do that. And this is, you don't want to self-edit this. You don't want to think too hard about it. You know what this question is. People ask, so the question would be, how do I publish my book or how do I market my book? That's sort of the question that I get asked all the time, right? Comes in the comments, comes in questions, comes everywhere. That's my question. That's how people see me. So you're going to do whatever it is they see you. So now what I want you to do is after you've done, and we're only going to go through the first two here, but after you've done that first question, I want you to write question number 2, whatever that is. So in my case, it might be, how do you market the book? And then might be, how can I do this without paying any money? Or what would be my next step? Or how do I do social media? Or something along that line. So you know what that question is. It's asked to you all the time. If you don't know what these questions are and you're a little unsure, write down whatever it is you think it is. So your FAQ question, your most asked question, your biggest tip, all that kind of stuff. If it's a legacy book, you're thinking about a legacy book, these would be the transition points in your life. Might be, instead of writing a book like this, like I was born on this day and I did this on that day, these would be the key moments in your life. So when you were married, when you graduated from high school, when you met your wife, maybe you lost your job. Was a key moment in my life, a long time ago, losing a job. Maybe you moved from here to there, something like that. So it would be those moments. So whatever you think the most significant moment is, and then what are the other moments, so as opposed to dates, right? So it's more like moments and transition points and places that you did. That's for the legacy side. So you have all those, write all those down, and you're going to just take, now you have 10, basic 10. 10's a good number. People like 10. You can go 12, something, but somewhere around there. All right. So now what we're going to do, now that we have those 10, and they're hopefully just a single sentence, you didn't take them very far, we're going to expand each of those ideas into a single paragraph. All right. So you're going to start with the first question, and you're going to take it through and expand that out to just a paragraph, a simple paragraph on that question. And you're going to go in order. You're going to start at 1, you're going to go all the way through 10. Just one paragraph for each. You're not starting to write everything yet. You're just doing this simple paragraph. So it's fairly easy. You're basically just fluffing out your sentence. All right. So, and there's a reason that I have you do it in this order, and we'll come to that in a moment. So you can pause this video at this time, or know you're going to go and do that. I talk about it in the workbook. I kind of take you through that process. But you're just going to write a single paragraph on this question. Once you've done the single paragraph, you've done all 10 of them, you're going to come and you're going to expand each of those paragraphs into 3 to 5 paragraphs. And again, you're going to try to do them somewhat in order, all right? And you're going to take and expand that out. You're going to explain that in more detail. You're going to put more information in it. Maybe you add some resources, a story. Start each one with a little story. Is a great way to start these sections. Something that, I talked a little bit about these books. Just put a story there and then do the explanation for it. If it's a legacy, you can expand out the legacy. FAQ, give the tips, the points, the significant steps that you need to do. But you're going to do these kind of in order of 1 through 10. But why do we do it this way? So what I call this is, so we're working horizontally. We're working level by level. Basic idea, then one paragraph each one, and then 3 to 5 paragraphs for each one. And we're working this horizontal method. So we have one idea to 10 ideas. And the reason that I do this is that a lot of people sort of write, we sort of write our idea 1 and try to write that whole chapter and go all the way to the end. And then we write idea 2 and kind of go all the way through. And people tend to write in a vertical manner. And I advising you, don't do it this way. You want to write horizontally. So we're not going to start at idea 1 and complete it, and idea 2. 1 you'll kind of burn out for. You'll never get it done. But here's the real reason why I have you do it this way. I'm going to work horizontally. So you have all of your 10 ideas, all the basic core ideas that you have for your book. And what you're going to find is that what you wrote in idea 1 is going to affect what you have in idea 10. And what you have in idea 9 will come back and affect idea 4. So you're going to write something in 9 and go, oh, you know, that's actually a little part of idea 4, and you're going to come back and fix that. So you'll find, because you haven't gone too far, every idea is pretty much in a raw state. They're just basic sentences or basic paragraphs. You can go and fix those other areas that need to be fixed. So one of the things to do here is to just write. When you do your initial writing and you're putting down that paragraph with a 3 to 5 paragraph, is don't edit at that point. Just write it down. Just write what you're going to write. If you can't think of what to write, just write your grocery list. Somebody said yesterday, your grocery list, or blah, 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 and have your brain catch up on it. Or just write anything down until you kind of come back to it. But you basically just want to write the raw stuff, this stuff. The next day, you'll come back and edit. Write today, edit tomorrow. That's the key. Let it sit inside. Let it kind of percolate a little bit. Let just think about it a little bit. Then come back and edit. And that's where you will then say, oh, some of this goes with that. Some of that goes with this. And you'll end up with a much better product. You're also going to get this done, right? These aren't big books. We're not talking like, a manifesto kind of thing here. We're talking just basic tip books, a simple book that you can create. So that's why I have you do it in this manner. So the basic, just to sort of recap what we're going to do on this, basically we're almost there, right? This whole process, and you can do this. You can do this with dictating it in your phone, right? You can do this. Pull up Google Docs, go to the tools, and hit the microphone, and you can dictate this whole thing. It can be done, especially once you have those 10 questions done. You can do this. You can dictate the whole thing in one day, right? This is not a long, drawn-out process. So what do you do if you can't sort of come up with some ideas? Let me give you some tips on some ideas. So one is to carry a little notebook. So I carry in my pocket. Let's just come back here for a second. I carry in my pocket a little notebook like this. It can be a piece of paper. It can be the note section on your phone. But you write down over the course of a month or 2 months, you carry this around. Every question that you get asked, write that question down. No matter what it is, just write it down. Somebody asks you a question, go back to your desk, go back to your corner, go back to Zoom down here below the thing, and just write that question down. At the end of a month or 2, you will have a whole bunch of questions. You'll then take those questions, organize them, which was the one that had the most, which is the least, and be surprised, you will find out how the world sees you and what are the kinds of questions you get asked, right? So you don't have to think these off the top of your head. You can let the world bring them to you. You probably know what most of them are, but you can let the world bring them to you. You can go into Google, the what people ask section. If you do how to, like let's say you're writing on, I've been using a flashlight lately, how to turn on a flashlight, you will see people ask. You'll see great questions come up in that section in Google. Those are the sort of crowdsourced questions that Google has figured out. This is what people are asking. Those make great sections for a book like this. Go to Amazon and do the see inside. Look at the competitors in your market. Look at their table of contents. You may have 8 ideas. And you just need a couple more. Look down the table of contents of your competitor's book. And you'll go, oh, I totally forgot about that. That would make a great point I need to have in my book. Take that and put it in. So these are all different ways you can look through the book reviews in Amazon. Another great place for gold things, but you can kind of pull all that stuff together. I talk a little bit more about this in the workbook that you can download. But those are all kind of cool ways that you can pull stuff out. All right, so let's see here. So book recap. You can have basic ideas, right? 10 of them. 10 is a good number. 12, 10, something like that is good. You are then going to take each of those and expand them into one paragraph, right? Do this horizontally all the way through the book. Don't try to jump to the end. Take those paragraphs, expand them into 3 to 5 paragraphs. So that's cool ways and easy ways to sort of come up with all your content. You've done this. You did it. All right? That's your book. You have the core of your book, just like that. So now you're going to add an author bio at the back, an intro at the front, maybe some other front matters, maybe some other stuff. I don't know, something, quote or something. Back matter might be what courses you do, speaking you do, products you have, a resource list. These books make great, especially if it's sort of an information kind of thing you're going to hand to a client. Put a resource list in the back. These are my basic. If you're telling people things all the time, here's the people you should know, these are the places you should go, all that kind of stuff. Then put that in the back of your book. Just list all that stuff up. Services and products. So here's the key. Your number one tip, that main thing that you said, that number one tip is your book title, right? It's going to be some version of that. Might actually be that because it's descriptive and it's like, how do I do this? That's your book title. Your tips and ideas, that the rest of them, number 2 through 10, those are your table. That's your table of contents, right? So number 1 is going to be in your table of contents, and all of these are going to be your table of contents. They're descriptive benefit points that match to what you're writing about. If it's a legacy book you're putting down, then those would be the key transition points in your life. I had a little coffee today. It's good. But those become the benefit points. They also become the bullets on the back of the the back of the book. So those are your bullet points for selling. You can also use those for podcasts, for videos, for blog posts, everything. You can take this same content and use it in a bunch of different places. So the book's content structure should look something like this. Should have the book content in the middle, should have an intro, your table of contents, front cover, author bio, resources, product and services. The order isn't important. How you put it and where you put it is fine. And a back cover. That's the basic structure of your book. Once you've done that, now you have this. Hopefully it's all in Word somewhere. If you did it as an audio file, you can just get it transcribed. You can transcribe it just by using your phone. If you talk into the message area, memo area of your phone, it just kind of goes into the phone and it all just comes out. Google Docs. Like I should probably have Google Docs turned on here. I would have had an audio description of this entire presentation, or text description of this entire presentation. But you want to go out and edit and proof your book. So editors are around. There's freelance editors. You might find an English teacher or a reporter or somebody who's around. You can find that for your book. But you want to make sure you edit it, sort of get it cleaned up. You can find freelancers that can format your book. So you can publish this book on Amazon. So these books, most of these have been published through KDP Amazon, which is free to publish. And you get great author prices. So you can get author for getting copies of the book. So all that is pretty cool. And so they'll format your book. You're going to format 2 files, the inside file, the pages, and the cover. So that's something that you can check out. With KDP, there's lots of specs on it. If you find a freelancer, they can do that. I have a little more details in the workbook, which you can download. After the inside of the book is done, create your book cover. Again, there's some formats on that, but for a Kindle book, it's just the front of the book, and if it's a print book, it's the back. The back spine and front cover of your book. And there are lots of resources and places to get hold of that. If you're doing a Kindle book, Canva is fantastic. Kindle book covers. Amazon also has a cover creator application that works really, really, really well. So beyond the scope of this video to go through all those different options, but they're not hard to find and people are producing books all the time. Once your 2 files are done, and I recommend make an ebook and make a print book because they're basically the same files, just basically the cover's different. Upload them upload your book to Amazon. It's kdp.amazon. It's a free, as I said, free, and you just fill out the form, upload the files, and you are a published author, and you're on Amazon, and people can buy your book. Great way to go. If you don't want to be on Amazon, take those files and talk to your local printer, and you can create, one of these kind of little print books. And if you want, then you can have a little success, push it up on Amazon, and publish. You are a published author. Super cool, and just a great thing to do. So, number one tip. This is it. Pick your idea, your lesson, your FAQ, whatever it is. Write it down on a piece of paper. One sentence. Just write down what people are asking you all the time, and so that you can put that down. Then you're going to write tips number 2 through 10. So ideas, your lessons, your transition points, your FAQs, that kind of thing. Again, a single sentence. You put all that down there. You're going to expand each tip or idea, and you're going to make it, single paragraph, and then you're going to turn it into 3 paragraphs, or 3 to 5 paragraphs, something like that. We're looking at a 30-ish page to 50-ish page book. It's a nice range. Feels good. You'll charge about $6.95 for it on Amazon, something around that way. Add a front, back, and other matter. All your titles of all your sentences become the table of contents. You're going to put resources in the back, intro in the front, table of contents in the front. Edit, format, get your covers created, and publish it and start marketing, using it as a tool that you can send out and bring to the world. So that basically covers the entire easy book creation. As I said, there's a workbook that you can download for this, and it should be cool. And I'll be excited to see what you have. All right, we will see you next time in another. That sort of wraps this up, and we'll see you next time in another video and learn about some more publishing stuff. All right, talk to you soon. Bye-bye.